Children, welcome to Wondercom. Today I am going to tell you about little bit about formula. Last class I told you about formula and symbol. So formula, you know that this is the symbolic representation of compound. So do you know about molecular formula of an element? Molecular formula of element. Molecules means for the compounds you know, but molecular formula of elements. So this is, now I'll just give some information about this molecular formula of an element. So this element we know, suppose we'll take hydrogen. Some gases are there, they can't remain, the atoms can't remain independently, so they join or combine with another atom to form the molecule. They exist in molecular form. So H2 remains as a molecule, not as H in atomic form. So we can't also represent molecules like this. Always we have to represent the molecules of that same elements. When both the atoms of the same elements combine together, then we will represent as H2. This is the molecular representation or the molecular formula of the elements. That means this represents one molecule of hydrogen. Don't get confused. This molecule can't be represented as 2H. Always it will be represented as H2. Similarly, just like hydrogen, oxygen molecule also represented as O2. Nitrogen molecule as N2. Chlorine, this is also gas, so it is also diatomic form, means two atoms form one molecules, Cl2. Okay, so you should know that. It will be helpful for you to when you are going to write the equation. Now coming to the writing a formula of compound, this is means you should know this how to write a compound. For that we need actually the combining capacity of an element. Combining capacity is nothing but the holding capacity, holding power or holding capacity of an element. Element, by this time you might be knowing what is element. So holding capacity, what is this holding capacity? Means what we can hold. So suppose we have two hands, so we can hold two things at a time. This is our holding power or the holding capacity. So if you imagine, suppose from mythology, if I'll take the character of Lord Vishnu, who is having four hands, or Lord Ganesha, you know, he is having four hands. So at a time he can hold four things. So he has the capacity of holding four things at a time, whereas we can hold only two things. If you'll go for another character like goddess Durga, she has 10 hands, so she has the capacity of holding 10 things at a time. So likewise, the holding capacity of element is chemically known as valency. This term you should know, valency. So valency is the holding capacity of the element. Okay, so about this valency, actually in the higher classes you will be studying in details of the valency. If you'll watch my next video, I have given some extra this additional information. Little bit I have told about this valency. You just watch it if you want to know about more about valence. Just like your elements or atoms or molecules, one more term that is ions. Ions are nothing but the charged particle. Why I am telling all these terms? Because we are going to write, so you should know the terms. Ions are the charged particles. These are nothing but the atoms or element with charges. Charges means either your positive charge or negative charge. So again, how they are getting the atoms or the elements, how they are getting the charges with them. Again, one more term it is coming. This is additional information. So this is a removal of or addition or you just remember these things for the time being. Removal of electrons from the atoms gives them the charge. I'll elaborate with this how they are getting. So electrons are there in the atom. Actually, when we are removing electrons, so electrons are having negative charge. They are negatively charged particle electrons. You should remember they are negatively charged particles, and certain numbers of electrons are present in every atoms. So if we are removing one electrons, that means one negative charge we are removed from the atom, then the atoms becomes positively charged. Similarly, if we add one electron, so the atom gets one extra negative charge. That elaborately I can explain in next video. You just watch for that. So in that way, removal or addition of electrons make the atoms ions or the charged particle. So we have a list of atoms, ions like H plus, sorry, it is not visible. So this is H plus, sodium. These are only one charges, means one positive charges are there. Potassium, silver, okay, calcium 2 plus, barium 2 plus, isn't it? These are magnesium 2 plus. These are certain ions with the positive charged. Similarly, negatively, it is not visible. I am just writing here little. Chloride. See, chlorine, when we are in the ionic form of the this one charged form, we call it as chloride. This is ion, chloride ion. In the while naming the compound also where chlorine is present, we call it as, suppose sodium is combining with the chlorine, so name would be sodium chloride. Sodium name of the sodium will be as it is, but chlorine becomes chloride, iodide, oxide, sulfide. Likewise, sulfur becomes sulfide. But the metal which is the potassium, silver or argentum or calcium as it is, that name. But this part means all the sulfur, sulfide, nitride, that you will know after you means using once you will come to know how you are going to name this. Then oxide ion with 2 minus. Okay, so besides this, some other ions, that is polyatomic ions, are there. These polyatomic ions means the atoms of different elements combined together and they act as a single unit. For example, this hydroxide, oxygen and hydrogen, they combine together and they act as a single unit with one charge minus. Similarly, NO3, 1 nitrogen, 3 oxygen, this is nitrate, this is sulfate, this is phosphate. One more, CH3COO minus, this is acetate ion. This is originated from organic based acetic acid, that is acetate. If you remember the vinegar we are using in the kitchen, that is acetic acid, from that this acetate ion is brought. This is ammonium with one positive charge. This is also polyatomic ion. So we'll write some chemical compounds, start writing the formula of some chemical compounds. Suppose we'll start with sodium carbonate. So we'll write the symbol of sodium with the charge, carbonate with its charge. Then as you know, we have to cross their charge. What is the coefficient of the charge here? 1, here 2, so it will come here and this will come this side. You know, this carbonate is a single unit with CO3 hole. So next will how it will be written. So sodium, the what is the 2 here, see this charge with this 2, this is its valency of carbonate. Similarly the sodium, this is total, but this is 1, so this would be 1, but generally we won't write here 1, so this is simply, this would be CO3. Fine. So in this way we will write this one. So next, one more, calcium. Suppose we will write calcium hydroxide. Okay, we'll first, if we'll get this one, so we will first write the symbol of calcium with its charge plus 2 plus hydroxide minus means minus 1. So when we will change this one, it will come to bottom right corner and this will come to this bottom right corner of this, and this becomes your calcium 1. We won't write 1, but in case of hydroxide we will put a bracket. Okay, so then we will, don't write like this, this is wrong, actually this is wrong, don't write this, this is the correct way of writing, because this is a single unit and we will write whole 2. Okay, so hope you have understood up to this. Then one more, in case of zinc sulfate. See, in all the cases the positive ions, while naming it is coming fast, isn't it? Zinc, sodium, calcium, always they are coming faster than this one negative ions. Positive ions are always coming fast. So let's do this is zinc, SO4 2 minus. See here one thing, here 2 and here 2 we won't write, this is the same the coefficient 2 and 2, so we are not going to, we are going to cancel it, and this would become your, we will write as it is zinc sulfate without writing anything. This is simply, this is the formula for zinc sulfate. Okay, then if we'll go for magnesium oxide, so I will write magnesium 2 plus O2 minus, again the same thing. Okay, it becomes MgO, magnesium. This is the formula for magnesium oxide. So if we go for ammonium sulfate, so this is one polyatomic ion with one positive charge, sulfate as you know 2 minus. So when you will write the equation, so it becomes ammonium, so it will come here, so this becomes 2. Got my point? This is a single unit, so we'll put the bracket as a whole, then we'll put this ammonium sulfate. Hope you have understood up to this. Then we'll come sodium acetate. In sodium acetate, we know sodium plus CH3COO minus. Okay, so as per this, it has to come, this is 1 and 1, so we can write like this, CH3COO, right? But in such cases, we want, this is not actually the convenient way. This is correct, no doubt, but we used to write this. This is originated from organic based, or this is originated from organic acid. So generally this in organic chemistry, and the structures are given much importance than the simply in inorganic we will write first this metallic ions and then followed by the negative ions. But in case of organic chemistry, generally these structures are given more important. So, and again this is a positive ions. As per this organic chemistry, this would be attracted towards the negative ions. So sodium be attached to Na, and structurally they want to represent the formula in organic chemistry. So this is the correct way of, this is also correct, no doubt, but this is the convenient way, and this is the usual notation of the sodium acetate. And if we'll go for similarly for sodium formate, or suppose calcium formate is HCOO minus, only one charge, calcium 2 plus. So in this case also COO 2, because it will come here and it will come here, and this is calcium. Okay, this is the formula of calcium formate. Formate is formic acid. It has come from formic acid. Formic acid is also an organic acid. So as per the structurally, it is represent, as per the structure I told, they are giving much more importance to the structural notation and structural things. So this can be written as this. So one more thing, you can, why we are writing this CH3COO for acetate, instead of that it can be written like CH3O2, isn't it? This is also correct. There is no wrong in writing this, or sodium acetate in writing this is also not wrong. This is also correct way of form notation, but this is usually whatever we are using, that we are doing. Okay, this is all about the writing the formula. Hope you have understood up to this. So next I will give some additional information about formula, like some atomicity and valency in my next slides. Just watch that for your information. Thank you.